You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
Today, we're doing our weekly recap number 30.
30, baby!
Can you believe it's been 30 weeks since we started this?
Well, if there was 10 days in the week, it would be 3 weeks.
That's true.
Think about it.
Dude, mathematician is crazy. It all
I think
goes
that
back to
actually
5.
makes sense, but 5, because if you divide 30 by 5, you get like 8.
You're right.
You know?
That's factual mathematician right there.
Mathematician.
All right, so to get into our news this week, we have quite a few, not as much as last week's week, last week's
Yeah, not as
weekly
but
recap,
some bangers,
but some banger
out of
news.
left field.
It was some stuff that we were not expecting, but hyped nonetheless. So first off, this one's hype. I know you're excited. I know I'm excited.
Yeah.
And that being the MCU, John Bernthal is officially, this is confirmed, 100% confirmed, is officially returning as Punisher in Daredevil Born Again.
Let's go, baby! We did it! We did it! We got him back! I freaking love this dude, man. John Bernthal is one of my favorite actors. I mean, he kills it in no matter what role he's in. Man,
Right.
He's born to play the Punisher. Punisher, I will say, it's not like, like a go-to TV show with the others, but it's one of my favorites because, bro, he's a freaking beast. So
Yeah.
to finally have him back, I know obviously he won't be as dark, but just to have him is a start, and they can work him in there, maybe give him his own show,
Right.
I don't know who they put him in with, maybe a group in later, but listen, man.
Midnight Suns.
Thank you,
Midnight
Feige.
Suns. He is a Midnight Sun through and through.
If they had cast him as somebody else, I would have been so mad.
I know. It's a great casting. It's great. Get him back and
go,
working
baby.
with Charlie Cox again. It's super great news. He posted on Instagram his return, and it's definitely 100% happening, and it's awesome. And from what I've heard of Daredevil Born Again, going some news of that, it is going to be a 3-act show. So there's going to be like 3 different storylines molding into one.
6 episodes,
and that's awesome. I think that's unique and different and cool, and I'm excited to see how those play together. And from what I've heard, this show is actually, from what I'm hearing, I have a lot of high hope for this show.
You think it could be the best? Maybe
Disney Plus show.
Well, I think Secret Invasion.
Will be
and obviously
one of the
WandaVision up there,
right.
But I don't know 18. And I heard that they have like different villains,
right?
For like each
they
of the
will
3
each
acts.
of the 3 phases. I guess you could say the
or
series
whatever,
in season 1. So
so.
I'm excited to see it. But we did receive some more unfortunate news, being that Foggy Nelson and Karen will not be returning for Daredevil Born Again. But that doesn't mean that. Just because they're not returning for this season, they don't return in a different season or in a different capacity. So
I hope they don't keep them shelved. I forget the names for both of them. The actress for Karen, I'm not a huge fan of. I always found her kind of annoying in Daredevil, even though she played a huge and crucial role. But the actor for Foggy Nelson was one of my favorite parts.
Right.
He's loyal, he's hilarious, and he's definitely the better half of Nelson and Murdoch. So I hope they bring him back, really.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see that too, but I don't know if they will or not. But from what I'm hearing, I am excited for Daredevil Born Again. I mean, they're bringing back John Bernthal, and they've already brought back Charlie Cox, so why not bring back some others? So I'm excited to see it.
When is this coming out again?
I don't think it's coming out till 2025 or later. I don't really know.
I just hope, man, they take their time.
I agree.
I don't want to see CGI like She-Hulk or like weak storylines. Like,
and plus, I want to see
a
lot of CGI in Daredevil Born Again anyway. But
yeah.
something good. I'm excited. I think give it that MA rating and go from there.
Let's go,
I'm
baby.
Excited.
That's huge.
All right, so make transition over to Star Wars news. We have quite a few Star Wars news, or most of the day. Starting off with Andor. So Andor. Originally, we talked about it, and it was originally planned for it was going to be 5 seasons.
5 seasons.
That was what was set in stone.
Yeah.
But now, have come out and said, or Diego Luna came out and said that Andor's last season will be season 2. It will end with season 2. So, I mean, how do you feel about it, Nathan?
Honestly, I'm kind of excited. I do think a lot of times good shows are stretched on for a little too long. And I think
is season 2 enough? That's the question.
I know. Well, I think with the grand scheme of things and how slow Andor moves, I think 5 seasons is a lot to keep people in. 2 seasons, I think 3 seasons would kind of perfectly cap it off.
Right.
But I don't know. With this only one more season, they're going to have to, I don't know, not maybe. That just depends, Are they looking for a concrete solution? Or are they building into like another movie?
Well, they need to build into Rogue One. Is what I mean. Season 2 needs to end with where his character's at in Rogue One. Is where season 2 needs to end. So
I feel like they have time though.
They
but
do.
It just depends on the writing,
right? I mean, if they give it the same amount of episodes and the same kind of, because Andor season 1 it's a very good show.
It's slow though.
It is slow, but it's a good show. So hopefully season 2, if they pick up the pace a little bit, but still keep that same vibes and everything, it'll go hard. But my question again is like, is it enough? I don't know. I mean, season 1 was slow, but I think 5 was too much. I completely agree. I think 3 should have been where they went instead of cutting it off at 2. But then again, who knows? They could end it perfectly and it'd be amazing, which would be great.
Yeah.
But I think 3 is the magic number when it comes to a lot of this stuff. So we'll see what happens
agree.
there. But I'm excited to see season 2 and where it goes from how it ended in the last season. All right. So next up is Star Wars movies. I mean, this is a big discussion anyway because we haven't had one in a while now, and we need to talk about it because originally when Star Wars was coming out, they were talking about all these shows they released. They released some movie plans and everything, and we've gotten the majority of the shows. The majority of the shows have happened, except for like 1 or 2, and that was just because of like conflicts and everything. But now movies are starting to get the boot, and that being first off, Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron movie is completely been canceled now.
Yay.
It's official. I don't know if it's necessarily a yay because I would have liked to see it.
Has been an L recently.
That was just because of 1984. That's the only reason.
Sure. I know Warner Brothers can be hard to work with.
It can be. And she could have done really well with Lucasfilms, and plus Wonder Woman 1. I just think back to that one, and that's a great movie.
Pretty solid, yeah.
I mean, it's a really good movie. So it's like I would have liked to have seen a Rogue Squadron movie. I think it would have been interesting. I don't know if Wedge Antilles would have been the main character. I think it should have been, but I don't know. But it's officially canceled now, so no more room to talk about it anymore. Anyway,
Rip.
so that's unfortunate.
Yo, shout out.
Next one is Kevin Feige's movie has also been canceled. Oddly enough, this actually surprised me a little bit because I mean I don't know if he's directing it, if he's just executive producing, or what he was doing for this movie. But this one, I don't know if he's just honestly, is probably the answer is he's just too busy.
Yeah, it's load management, man.
He's just too busy for it.
See, that's what I'm saying when we talked about it last time. How he wants to like get job promotion and be up all over like everything with Disney.
Right.
Like my brother, you can't even handle Marvel and a Star Wars movie. I feel like.
Well, that would be different
Stay in your
because
lane.
it's different thing there because when he's staying with one thing, when you're just doing Marvel, I mean, yeah, you're busy there, but when you're put over everything, it's different because he's not just having to focus on Marvel because he's just dealing with the executive. So he'd be dealing with Jon Favreau and Kathleen Kennedy, and he'd be like their boss now, and he'd just be listening to what they say to him. I mean, okay, good deal, whatever. So it's different. When it comes to him focusing on Marvel and then doing a Star Wars project, that would be more difficult than him being like the overarching and then doing something. So it's a bit different when it comes to business management there. But honestly, it is probably because he's too busy with Marvel to do this movie.
How they be canceling these, but not Taika Waititi's film?
That one's still set. That one is still set.
Like with his recent flops.
Right. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the scheduling conflicts and the different things going on with those two movies.
Watch,
and
it's
then
super woke. That's why they keep
possibly. I don't know. But now, I mean, like we said, there was a Star Wars movie scheduled for this year in 2023, but it's now not scheduled for 2023. Now, any Star Wars movie in development has been pushed back to December 2025.
Yeah.
It's pushed all the way back, which is good. Same quality and stuff.
Because if they just overproduce the movies, I feel like the movies lose their magic.
Right.
And the sequels already had that against them. You had the 6, all the original stuff and the prequels, and then some people were upset about the sequels. And, changing directors, they really didn't turn out that great.
Right.
So with other Star Wars movies, I really feel like they got to be careful. Take their time. Give them like 3, 4, 5, even more years. Space them out.
It's hard with Star Wars fans because Star Wars fans are just so toxic and divided, and they're genuinely stupid a lot of times. So it's like I don't know how he's going to get it because you're never going to make a Star Wars fan happy legitimately.
And I'd say most Star Wars fans don't want to see new stories in the universe.
I know.
I think they want to see like more stories about the characters they know and love.
And that's the crazy thing too is there's only one agreement amongst all Star Wars fans, and that being that everybody loves the original trilogy. That's the only visible agreement. And Obi-Wan Kenobi. That is the only visible agreement because there's people that hate the sequels. Obviously, then there's people that hate the prequels. There's people out there that do hate the prequels,
of course.
And I mean
they're flawed.
Oh yeah, I mean
everything is.
And I would say the prequels aren't that great besides Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
I mean the first two are
they
not
got
that great movies.
The dialogue sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
but they got great
just,
action scenes.
Right. I mean, it's just you're never gonna please a Star Wars fan. I mean, the only reason the prequels are so have such a cult following now is because of the Clone Wars series. So it's like
Revenge of the Sith with how hard that went.
Right. So it's just like you're never gonna make a Star Wars fan happy. But hopefully they get their kinks together and they can figure out this movies and what they're planning in the future of Star Wars. I hope so. All right, next up is a Skeleton Crew news, which is apparently still coming out this year, I think.
Jude Law,
and Jude Law, my guy, coming back there.
Shout out.
But apparently they're saying that the villain of this series we've already seen before in the Star Wars realm, and a lot of people are pointing to the newly introduced Captain Gorian Shard, otherwise known as Davy Jones Swamp Thing mixture
Swamp Thing.
in Mando
Swamp
season 3. So what do you think about
Davy,
that?
Davy thing. Honestly, man, I'm kind of vibing with this. I mean, obviously, he was just in the that first episode,
Right.
17 of the apostate, but I was kind of feeling him, like low key. He seemed intimidating. I liked his design. I thought the CGI was pretty good. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense why they would just kind of throw him in the first episode and not really talk about him later, kind of building him up for Skeleton Crew.
For Skeleton Crew as a villain. That'd be
I
cool.
think it's pretty good, to be honest.
Bring in Hondo, man. I just want Hondo. Bring him in.
Hondo in live action, man. I'm trying to imagine what he would look like.
He'd look dope.
He would look cool.
He's my guy. All right. Anyway,
Johnny Depp.
So that'd be cool to see as well. Who knows? It could be a different villain. I don't know. But I would be fine with seeing the Captain Davy Jones back again in Swamp Thing, and we'll see how that goes. All right, now to make the transition over to DCEU, not EU, you now. DCU
sorry.
News.
DCU.
One being a confirmed news, and one being an actor interested in playing a role. So we'll start with that one. Is Jamie Campbell Bower has expressed interest in playing Scarecrow in either, I don't know if it's Reeves Batman or if it's in the DCU.
Yeah.
That's a good casting.
Listen, that's
man.
a good casting.
That's a good casting.
I sent to Michael. I'm like, yo, this would be fire.
Dude, yeah, I mean, Jamie Campbell
has
Bower,
that look.
He does. He has the look. He's an
know?
incredible actor. I mean, we saw that in Stranger Things, and I mean,
Yeah.
I would love to see him. I think he would fit Scarecrow. I mean, he plays a villain really well, so I'd love to see him as.
And if you're like
Scarecrow.
one character, like Cillian Murphy, who has that intelligent yet twisted look, that's Jamie.
him.
You know,
I mean, he looks insane. So I mean,
Yeah, he does.
He could play it off very
he'd
easily.
be a perfect Jonathan.
He
Crane.
would. He would.
Put him in the. Put him in the reverse.
I would
or
love to see
whatever
that.
they're
Yeah, I
calling
agree.
it.
I don't know if he'd maybe his own series or maybe his own I don't know.
He's around the same age as Pattinson.
But I've been loving these rumored Batman villain castings lately, like Jamie Campbell Bower, Scarecrow.
Did you see the Bryan Cranston as
Mr. Freeze?
Mr. Freeze?
I saw that one, but I think I like John Carl Esposito better
Really?
for Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Because he looks like
That
him.
would go
I
hard.
think he'd be perfect. But anyway, I'm liking the casting theory,
Yeah.
so I'm liking that. All right, next up is a confirmed piece of news, and that being the Batman Caped Crusaders series, animated series. Originally was supposed to be on HBO Max, but got canceled. But now Amazon has acquired somehow, some way, the rights to the show.
It's called money, Michael.
I
It's
know,
called
but
Amazon money.
It's weird though.
That's huge.
It does not make sense in my mind how HBO would allow, Warner Bros. Discovery would allow Amazon to do this.
I guess. Listen, this is in my mind. We haven't seen details, but it had to go like this. This show is probably too expensive, right, for Warner Bros. To make. They need to cut costs, so they cut it. Amazon's like, hey, we'll give you a bunch of money, and Warner Brothers needed money.
Right?
Heck yeah, do what you want. But the crazy thing is, J.J. Abrams is on board.
J.J. Abrams,
Matt Reeves is on board.
That's a big one.
With animated series, we're gonna be seeing a Batman, possibly. I don't know, probably not voiced by Pattinson, but produced by Amazon.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's definitely cool.
That's-
a new
that's
Batman
awesome,
series.
but that's
the works.
weird,
We're gonna have 3 Batmans going on at the same time. That's all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's really cool to see. I mean, from what I've heard of the show sounds fire. So I'm definitely interested. We'll break it down for sure. But I mean, I don't know. It's just really weird how Amazon got these rights.
It's weird, but I don't think we said that. Whenever Amazon acquired the rights to what was the Spider-Man character that they got?
Noir or
is it Noir that they're making?
they're making Spider-Man
So
Noir.
they paid Marvel, right, for one of their Sony, sorry, for one of their characters, and we're like, that's weird.
Well,
but
they've got a lot of series in the works for Spider-Man.
Batman
and
is
Amazon,
weird, so
it is weird. So it's really interesting.
Honestly, I really do like Amazon's creative choices.
Right.
Like, I feel like Amazon low-key would be great to work with as far as TVs and movies go. And like low-key, like
this package
I'm not thinking The Boys, with Batman, but I'm thinking like it could be darker. You know what I'm saying?
It could be.
At least in the animated sense.
Right. So I mean, I'm down to see it. I mean,
Amazon making it.
Batman animation definitely. I mean, you'd have a lot of. There's a lot of good stuff in Batman
Dude,
animation.
I'm watching the animated series.
It's phenomenal.
Right now. I'm at 25.
I mean, the
episodes
animated
in.
series is amazing, and not only that, most of the Batman movies are incredible. So it's definitely a tough thing to do. So you got to do it right. So let's see what they do.
All right, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Our podcast, Here's in the Moment, is available on all major podcast platforms, so check us out. Speaking of checking us out, our last episode was, and I can't remember, was it our Mando? It was our Mando episode 1. That's right. Mando episode 1, well, technically chapter 17. So go ahead, check that out.
Facts.
And look forward to this Thursday. We're dropping our Mando episode 18 of Saturday. We're dropping it Saturdays. So from now on, we're doing News Tuesdays and Mando Saturdays.
Yup.
Right? That's
Unless
right.
any movie review comes out, that'll come to Tuesdays.
And that will come Tuesdays. And then we'll push news back because movies are obviously more important. Anyway, you guys get the gist. If you want to stay up to date with all of our news, announcements, and updates, check out the socials. Primarily our Instagram, where we'll let you know everything that's Here's in the Moment. And our TikTok, Here's in the Moment with an extra T.
And we just want to thank you guys for listening. And as always, we love you 3000.